Carlos Saisu with Stadium. The Big Three has invaded the Windy City. Let's chat with the big one. The #1 overall pick of the inaugural season here at the Big Three, Rashad McCants. First of all, hold on. Rashad, please explain. The Big Baller brand. Reppin', huh?
I mean, it needs no explanation or introduction. Everyone knows what it is and what it's about, and I'm a representation of a Big Baller brand.
Have you had a personal conversation with Mr. LeVar Ball?
I haven't. I don't need to. I know what he's doing. I see where he's going with it, and I'm a full supporter of it.
Hear that, LeVar? Rashad's a big fan.
For sure.
Of the big Triple B movement. We're a big fan of the Big Three movement going on here. First of all, Trilogy remains in first place.
Right.
What's clicking for the squad?
We understand each other. We understand the one common goal is just to go out there and compete as hard as we can and get the win. And we have a bunch of unselfish players. We have a very unselfish coach who understands that, us as players, need our freedom to play, but also understand the scheme and the strategy, what we want to do each game, week in, week out, just to get a win. So we're just clicking.
Now, here we're doing a Facebook Live. It's not just about me and Rashad. It's all about you, the fans. Send in your questions, your comments. Chat with Rashad himself. He's glad to answer your questions. We got viewers tuning in. We appreciate it very much. Rashad, you talk about how Trilogy's clicking in all cylinders. Are you surprised with your own game? I mean, you're one of the leading scorers right now in the Big Three.
Oh, no. I mean, I haven't started to even warm up a little bit. We're just warming up. I just try to put myself in position where my team needs me most. And it's usually on the backside of Al Harrington getting double teamed or him utilizing the mismatches in the post. And I just try to help him as much as I can and be able to facilitate as much as I can.
From what we've observed so far all day, everybody's keeping an eye on everybody's games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who have you been surprised watching so far this season?
Katino Mobley.
Cat.
And it's not really a surprise because Cat has been a good friend of mine for almost 10 plus years now. And I get a lot of my game when it comes to bully ball and mismatches from him. He has a lot of finesse to his game. It's hard to guard him. And I think for him and Rashard Lewis are the two guys that it's hard to figure out, and they just know how to play.
You mentioned two well-respected NBA vets in Cat and Rashard. And you yourself, an NBA vet, you look back at your career, your NBA career, what does Rashad McCants, Big Three star, look back at his NBA career and say, hey, I wish I knew that then?
Just being around guys older than me that are veterans, guys like Stephen Jackson. Stephen Jackson is one of my mentors, along with Allen Iverson, and guys like that have been able to teach me the things I didn't know when I was in the league as far as the business side. Understanding the business, understanding the professionalism it takes to stay in the league. And I think that's something that these young guys need today is guys like Stephen Jackson, guys like Allen Iverson, Chauncey Billups that can teach them the ropes.
I know you're not the first person to talk about how big of a mentor Cap and AI have been. I mean, it's just awesome hearing those stories from the NBA level and even here,
right.
Big Three level. When you're looking at how different the Big Three is from the NBA, you got 4-point shots. Do you ever see something as wild as that finding a way in its NBA where it's open court and long-distance shooting is the thing?
It's already happening. It's just guys like Steph Curry and Dame Lillard are being cheated out of points. To be able to shoot that far out, you should be rewarded for it. And I think eventually the league is going to have to look into it as a perk. As a perk of being able to shoot that long range of a distance. And for guys like myself, I've been shooting this far out for a long time. So it's just about using that 4-point to your advantage at the right time.
Now, we're here in Chicago. I'd be oppressed to not ask, who would be your dream Big Three of Chicago-related players?
Chicago-related players. Woo.
You got a wide selection with Chicago being
selection.
one of basketball's big meccas.
Are you talking about guys who are from Chicago or guys who played in Chicago?
Let's go all the above.
All the above.
All the above. I mean, very diverse group.
You got to go with Michael Jordan.
Go #1.
I would say Benji Wilson. And outside of him, I'm going to put a guy that I like a lot is Will the Thrill Bynum.
Will the Thrill Bynum.
Will the Thrill Bynum.
Over guys like a Derrick Rose. Over guys like a Dwayne
because
Wade.
Will the Thrill Bynum's been doing it since he was in high school. He's been doing it in the league. As explosive as Derrick is, I know what Will's going to bring to the table, and he gives you just as much athleticism as D Rose. He can shoot it, he can drive it, he can pass it, and he's smaller, so it's a different kind of mismatch, and he's feisty, and he's just my boy. I like him that much.
Now, that leads me to my next question. Actually, our audience's next question. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We've been getting this question all day. Who would you like to see play in the Big Three in year 2? Now, Will Bynum would be a great pick. Who else would you like to see?
Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, Rasheed Wallace, Paul Pierce, Tracy McGrady. The list can go on, because these guys can still play. And I think it just takes a little bit of motivation to say, come out here and get back in shape. And they are already doing it. They're already getting back in shape. And Kobe Bryant is not one of the guys that's just sitting around. And he's already said that. So I see it as a time for him to be healing, to be able to take time off once a week to play in something like this for the fans.
And I have a feeling he and Cube aren't strangers at all. And Cube could find a way to talk to you, Kobe. We are talking to you, Kobe.
Absolutely.
Hopefully that you are here next in the Big Three. Speaking about Cube, how's it being around Ice Cube himself? And how did he get you involved in the league? Did he just give you a call and say, hey, Rashad, today's a good day, we're going to get you in the Big Three?
It was more Roger Mason Jr. facilitated it through Steven Jackson. And I was able to hit Steven up and just say, how do I get a part of it? He was able to send me Roger Mason Jr.'s information, and then he put me in the draft pool, and the rest is history.
Yeah. The rest is history, because you're making your mark on the court and off the court.
Yep.
Talk to us about Per Diem Against Poverty.
Per Diem for Poverty. It's a foundation that is really predicated to giving back to food drives, hunger, Homeless for Hunger, and different charities based around feeding the homeless. And giving up our per diem as players is something that's very important, because it's something that not necessarily we look down upon, but something that is feasible to give away to the homeless and those that are less fortunate. So the baseball players have really taken advantage of it. So we want to really merge it with the athletes in the basketball world. So I think it's easier for us to say, look, here's my per diem. I get about $200. I'm going to give it back to the Boys and Girls Club. I'm going to give it back to the hunger drives and all that.
It's amazing, because nowadays, especially in the NBA offseason, you're seeing ridiculous numbers being thrown out.
Yeah.
But I think what's easy to oversee is these players donating their time and their money. Here, Deon.
Big baller brand.
Showcasing it right there. But again, just making good use of their time and money.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the best part about this foundation. And we also have another foundation called Do Your Part. The Do Your Part initiative gives the ability for us as athletes to do our part in the community. And if you hashtag under my name, Rashad McCants, or hashtag Do Your Part, we understand that that means come win a t-shirt that says Do Your Part, Rashad McCants, 2017. And I think that initiative alone allows athletes to say, we're doing our part in the community. We're doing our part.
You hear that? Everybody do your part. Rashad definitely is doing his part. We appreciate it very much. Rashad, thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. They can't see that far in. They can't see that far in.
The shadow was covering the sweat. So